What's up, guys? My name is Seppie. I'm the owner of Magnum Archery. A question I've been asked a lot is which release is the most accurate? I'm trying a Carter Just Cuz thumb release. This is my preferred release that I'm shooting a lot these days. I'm using a Scott Ascent Hinge release, and then I'm going to use a Trueball index finger. This is the Beast XT release. When I go hunting, I prefer an index finger release, and my target shooting in my target shooting quiver, I have either the thumb release or the hinge release. So when the weather's really good, I use the hinge release, and when the weather's really bad, I prefer using the thumb. So I'm going to shoot at 20 yards, 5 arrows with each of these, and I'm going to look at the grouping. But to be fair, my bow is set up with my thumb release. I can shoot my thumb and my hinge pretty much at the same spot. I don't have to set my sight, but I am expecting my index finger release to shoot on a different spot. So for the purpose of this video, I want to look at grouping sizes to look at doing a proper comparison of what is accurate and what is consistent. I'm shooting at 20 yards. The reason why I'm shooting at 20 yards, for me, it's very relatable to most people. The weather's really bad outside, so we decided to come inside and shoot at 20. There's no wind. Obviously, the factors are the same for everything. I'm using the same bow, the same arrows. And the only thing that might play a factor is I'm going to anchor different with this release because my bow is not set up this way. So let's shoot and see what's going to happen. My bow of choice is the Hoyt Concept X40, a 40 axle to axle bow. I've got the Trueball Achieve sight on here with the axle scope. I'm using an AAE Freak Show rest with the number 10 blade. And I'm using the Conquest Smackdown bars, the 1/2 inch bars, a 15 inch at the back, 30 inch in the front. And then the arrows I'm using is the Black Eagle X Impact 120 in the front, and I'm using the X3 Boning 2.25 vanes. These vanes are fantastic, they're very durable. The bow's paper tuned, the timing's perfect, group tuning's done. So the only thing that I'm going to test today that's going to be different in my shooting is using various different releases. So standing at 20 yards, shooting a standard IFAA 5-spot target. We're going to shoot 5 arrows on different spots with different releases, and let's look at the results. And just before we proceed, in full disclosure, apart from what, I'm not sponsored by anyone, so you know, the test that I'm doing, whether the arrows, the releases, or anything like that, it's just my opinion. And it's an honest opinion. So I'm shooting the first round with my thumb release. Maybe a third eye on that one. I really like this Carter Just Cuz release, the way the geometry is and the way it sits in my hand. It's a medium size release. It's nice and crisp, and it's easy to set the trigger. There's no travel on this release. I've been shooting this for years. That's why it's all dented and why it looks like the way it does. It's more than a decade old, and it's bulletproof. So that is 5 X's with the Carter Just Cuz. I'm going to shoot the Scott Ascent Hinge release. What I really like about this release is it's got 2 sears in the middle, so you can set the click and how long the click is. So you can make it extremely fine or you can make it long. So I enjoy shooting the click because I know I'm going to be consistent in my anchor position, and then I know the shot is close and I can just focus on aiming and just making sure I pull through and I shoot a good shot. So this is the second end of 5 on a different spot. A little bit long on the aim there. It's just outside the X. It was just me not being aggressive with that and pulling through. Wow, that's hitting the other arrow in the X. I think that's a Robin Hood. Yeah, one of those 5 arrows I did not release well. I wasn't that aggressive. It wasn't a good shot from my side. Still a nice tight grouping. Pretty happy with that. So the last set of 5 I'll be shooting with the index finger release. I'm expecting this to shoot on a completely different place because it's a different anchor and I'm not going to change everything just for that. So I'm going to shoot on a different spot, but I'm looking at group sizes. That's what I'm looking at. That is low right. I was expecting not to shoot exactly in the same spot there. So let's just look at the grouping. So also, to be very honest with you guys, the index finger release is a release that I do not shoot very often. When I do anchor now, it feels it's quite uncomfortable, but both of my arrows are next to each other, just slightly low and to the right of the X. The grouping's good. So like I say, it's just all about consistency and to see which one's more accurate at this distance. Yeah, that grouping's looking good. Those are 4 good shots, well executed. I'm not trying to force any shots by punching it, trying to pull through. Interesting results. Let's have a look. So this is actually quite interesting. First 5 arrows that I've shot was with my thumb release, a Carter Just Cuz. Then I shot the Scott Ascent Hinge release. One arrow was not a great shot at all, but it's all about grouping sizes. And then the index finger was the last one. So I've got some loop material here, and I'm just going to wrap it around to look at the circumference of the actual grouping. So I'm going to try and make it as small as possible, that we can just see which one is the best. So this one is with my thumb release, and this is at, let's say, 4¼ inches. That's with my thumb release. The circumference with my hinge is 4 inches and 3/8. And then with the index finger that I am shooting the least, it's basically the one that I prefer when I go hunting. Three and a half inches. So I'm not really sure what what the conclusion on this is, but in my opinion, you know, all 3 are very consistent, and it's a release that you are the most comfortable with. This index finger was not great when I anchored or anything like that, but it was easy to shoot, easy to release. So, I mean, let me know what you guys think. Thumb release, hinge release, or index finger release. All in all, what do you shoot the best, and what are you the most accurate and consistent with? And for me, either one that works for you. I like using all 3 of them. and they all three work for me very well. Here's the results, interesting results. Remember to like this video and give me some comments down below.